Hi Xbox fans, my name is Dick Trong and I've been a YouTube gaming content creator for over a decade now. But more important than that, like you guys, I've been a fan of Xbox since the release of the original console 2 decades ago. It's actually insane that this year marks the 20th anniversary of the original Xbox. It makes me feel extremely old. So when the original Xbox launched in 2001, I was 14 years old, and at that time money was fairly tight with my family. And even though I loved gaming, I was always one console generation behind all my friends. Even though I didn't own the actual console itself, I had my very own Xbox controller, and anyone growing up at that time knows exactly why. The original Halo Combat Evolved was my very first ever Xbox game. It was the must-have game to own for the console. When I sat down for my very first ever Halo LAN party, it was just kind of like a light bulb moment at that time. I wanted to have my very own controller because there was something kind of gross at the time of sharing a communal controller with 12 other guys, pass around back and forth during the night, finding Cheeto dust in the gamepad. Well, there was always kind of like always a fight for the S controller at that time because when the original Xbox launched, it launched with the Big Daddy Duke controller. I actually find that it's a little bit of a shame that the majority of the younger generations of gamers out there will never experience what it's like to hold an Xbox Duke controller in your hand. The bi-weekly or monthly Halo LAN party was definitely one of my fondest memories of gaming growing up because it just brought everyone together to a common area to play an amazing game, get those competitive juices going, and just have a whole lot of fun up until the wee hours of the morning. It also led to some questionable decisions on my part because even though I couldn't contribute an Xbox, I wanted to help out the guys in some way, so I decided I would help out by bringing in my own TV. So growing up, both my parents worked the graveyard shift and they left for work at around 11 o'clock. Shortly after they would leave, my friend Jesse and I would sneak into the living room, unplug the TV, and basically lug that thing around the corner to a friend's house. And we were 14 at this time, so neither of us had cars, so we physically had to carry the television just around the corner. But at that time, TVs were so heavy back in the day, it honestly felt like we were walking a mile, even though it was literally just around the corner. After the trek around the corner, our forearms would be absolutely burning, but then we needed to carry the television down to the basement because for some reason, it's just the golden standard. The environment of a Halo LAN party always happened in the basement.
Pivot. Pivot. Oh shit, is this pivot? Pivot.
Have a dozen other guys just trolling down there playing Halo LAN basically until the sun came out, because when the sun came out, that was the sign that the party was over because I had to get the TV back into the living room all hooked up before my parents would actually get back from work and found out that it was gone in the first place. Even though Halo Combat Evolved kind of set the bar and kind of set the stage for my Xbox experience, the release of Halo 2 really just changed absolutely everything. It is my favorite Xbox multiplayer of all time, as well as my favorite Xbox game of all time. It just changed completely the way we thought of multiplayer. So even though I love the local experience of playing in person with a friend, now with Xbox Live, we didn't have to wait for someone to host the LAN event. You literally could play anytime you wanted, pick up the controller at any time you had a spare moment, play with your friends over the internet, play with people across the world at any point. It just really redefined multiplayer on a console. Over these last 2 decades, Xbox has provided all of us with a platform to experience amazing games, live through great stories, forge long-lasting friendships, and we've had 4 console generations, over 7,000 games. But honestly, it just feels like we're getting started, and I can't wait to see what Xbox has for us in the future. It's been an amazing 2 decades with Xbox. We've laughed, we've cried, we've raged some more, but I'm looking forward to all the amazing stuff that we have coming down in the future. And on behalf of all gamers, I think I can fairly say congratulations Xbox on your 20th year anniversary.